Good afternoon, my name is Ricardo Ibáñez, and today I'm with Martin Hooss. Martin, welcome. Thank you for being with me.
Thanks very much for having me.
Absolutely. So I have a specific question. Could you tell me a specific situation in your life where you realized in a conversation, let's say, that altruism was really evil, and you said, so this is wrong, I will change that. I won't accept this anymore.
It's a very, very interesting question because I am from Germany, as you know. And in Germany, that argument that altruism is good is very much underlying every statement which is given. So the much more difficult question to answer would be, is there any such situation where altruism was not evoked as a weapon in order to indoctrinate someone with guilt? So I can just give you some examples. In Germany, when I grew up, I was always very interested in living the best life for myself. So I always projected rational aims into the future, and I figured out what are the best means to achieve my ends, because I wanted to have a good life here on Earth and to enjoy myself. But there is always this twist that people come to you, such as my parents, more importantly still my teachers, who come to you and say, but well, you have so much potential, why not doing something social? How about working in a kindergarten or caring for sick people or whatsoever? And it's a booby trap. And it's a very, very difficult one to escape if you don't have the right philosophical weapons, which is why I think that objectivism is so important. But as you see, generally speaking, as I said in my talk here earlier today, the businessmen are persecuted everywhere, not only in the States, but much more than even in the States, in Europe. So they are very much seen as evil. And in a way, every man who lives for his own sake and does something what he wants to do and finds his rational career and figures out what he wants to do with his life on a rational basis, is acting like an entrepreneur in this case, because he's projecting rational aims into the future, wants to give them form. And the point here is there's nothing wrong with that, because ultimately, if we are being not only selfish, but rationally selfish, which is the only proper form of egoism, in that way we are also being social. Because, for instance, now I'm a teacher, I teach for Students for Liberty, and I also speak at conferences such as yours, and the students are very much profiting from that. They always come to me. I have a lot of students who are mentoring personally. So in a way, in that if you're rationally selfish, you are also being social. But people don't see that, and we have to break that binary.
Yeah, I agree. And it's good to say that social thing, the social point is not the primary, right? The
That is
primary
exactly right.
Your life
as
the standard value. So I was going to ask you, do you remember how you were before maybe accepting altruism? Were you always rejecting these kind of ideas, or there was a transformation, a change during your time in Germany, let's say?
I never accepted those ideas. I never was indoctrinated by guilt through the weapon of altruism. That never happened to me. But luckily I then discovered objectivism, because then I knew why I was right. I always felt that I was right, but I could not have proven it. So I could not have told you 10 years ago, all right, I want to live my life for my own sake, and someone would have told me, but why? Why are you not being social? I could not have answered such a question. And today I can show you why this is in line with the requirements of human existence and of human life. And you said before, well, the social comes later. Yes, social is a secondary, not a primary. And you can see why, because there is no such thing as a group or a collective as a metaphysical entity. There is no such thing as a collective brain. Only the individual can think. And all the progress we have comes from the individual. So that progress ultimately results from thinking individuals, but that is the primary.
All right. So Martin, could you give the audience part of your work where they can find you or something like that?
Yeah, right now I am, as I said, affiliated with Students for Liberty. So you can check me out there. And other than that, I also studied with CEFRO, and I'm still promoting them, so they have a great program there at CEFRO Institute, PPE program, which also has a minor in Objectivism, so I also highly recommend that. So those are right now the two organizations I'm affiliated with, Students for Liberty and CEFRO Institute Prague.
And thank you so much. It was nice having this conversation with you. Thanks for sharing.